Welcome to Sports Talk with John and John. I'm John.
And I was just laughing because Jake Paul, if you're hearing this,
Wait a minute, but you're my son. You've got to say who you are.
I think that, look, I'm obviously his son. You can see the resemblance. You know what? I'm the firstborn. You know what?
Listen to Sports Talk with John and John. Listen to and subscribe to our channel, Sports Talk with John and John at YouTube.com. And you were saying about boxing.
I know I wasn't saying about boxing. That wasn't a boxing match I saw. It was a beat down. You know what? It was an absolute
well-deserved one.
Absolutely 100 million%. The thrill of watching Anthony Joshua, who I don't root for, and except for this fight, by the way, I'm not a big Anthony Joshua fan. You know what? But I'm not I'm not a fan of British heavyweights. Absolutely never have been. You know what?
But I like him. I think Anthony Joshua he's
that's
a nice
good.
guy.
You're
a good guy though.
Okay, well,
he's a good guy, though. He's a good guy. You can call him a good guy though, isn't it?
Look, you know what? Heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion, also gold medal winner. You know what? I've never been a fan of UK heavyweights. I've never been a fan of UK heavyweights. Not really. I think, it all started with Lennox Lewis. I think Lennox Lewis ducked Mike for many years. You know what? I thought he ducked Riddick Bowe for many years as well. You know what? I think that they're opportunists. You know what? I think Tyson Fury, used boxing edge over Deontay Wilder, who was really an athlete, pretending to be a boxer, or moonlighting. I shouldn't say pretending. Moonlighting as a boxer. He's a better fighter, but I think Tyson Fury was a better boxer, right? So I'm not really a big fan of UK heavyweights, but that point being is that I was rooting for Anthony Joshua. And the reason why is because there's something about running your mouth. One of my favorite fighters of all time is Mike Tyson. I make no bones about it. I think Mike in his prime was as good as any heavyweight fighter ever that existed on the planet. You know what? I'll take that. I will take that to the grave.
You know my feelings about Kid Dynamite. You know my feelings.
I watched arguably the shortest, smallest heavyweight in my lifetime, because the guy is only about 5'10", walking there and absolutely.
Rocky Marciano was shorter, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, but I watched Mike actually go out there and slay giants. Right? These are guys that were 6'5", 6'6".
Frank
Razor Ruddock.
You
know what? Guys that were absolutely at the time the most
6'4".
Yeah, at a time when the heavyweight division was filled with just battleships. Right. And I watched Mike walk in there and absolutely with fearless fury just destroy everybody. And then when you watch the guy that you've admired your whole life at his age go in there and get systematically beat by somebody who's making a mockery of the sport that I like, you know what? You kind of wish ill on him. Like, right? Number one, you're beating a 60-year-old man. Number two, you're bragging about doing it. And you want to say, pick on somebody your own size, or at least your own age, right? And he bit off more than he could chew.
He talked the talk against Joshua. He talked the talk. He sold the tickets though.
Yeah, but Pop, it's that question, right? So remember back in the days, like, would you for $10 million? Would you, right? Like, hey, would you take a punch from Mike Tyson for $1 million, right? And guys would ultimately say,
no.
Yeah, for $1 million, I'll do it.
I never said, your father. For the record, and I was one of the ones saying no, because it's not worth it. There's no money in the world that would ever make me take a punch from Mike Tyson. There's no money.
For $70 million, would you take a punch from Anthony Joshua? I think for the people who say yes or no, you now have seen the conclusion of what happens if you are not a trained boxer and you take a punch from Anthony Joshua. It usually is with 2 broken jaws. By the way, how the hell do you have 2 broken jaws? Like, you only have 1 jaw. He got his jaw broke in 2 different places. That is like the thought of that.
He's going to be using a straw for a long time. By the way, you don't come back from a broken jaw, by the way.
He got his jaw broke in 2 different places in one fight. Like that is, I mean, I've never seen it happen before.
He was still
in
sticking his tongue out, though. He was still doing that, though.
Well, you know what? I mean, if you read the reports, apparently, you know what? He got his jaw strengthened with titanium, so now he has a titanium jaw, and he's now calling out Canelo. Which I mean, man, you know what? I'll just tell you this: for $60 million to step in and go toe to toe with Anthony Joshua, for me, the answer is no. The reason why is because, quite honestly, looking at the pain and the brutality and the fact that Anthony Joshua, I think if he really wanted to hurt him, could have actually really did more damage. The fact that the fight was stopped,
I do
because
too.
Anthony Joshua actually carried the fight. If you watch it,
I think if Anthony Joshua was, I'm going to name a couple of fighters, and I want you to say Jake Paul goes up against these guys, and they, I won't say have mercy or take pity, but you know they really hit, they punch, they get out, they get him out of there, but they don't get him out of there. You know, like get him out of there. We'll start off with Razor Ruddock
in his prime.
With Razor Ruddock.
No, he would have purposely tried to kill him. No, he would have. Absolutely. That was his mentality back then.
So the smash punch.
I'm sorry, who?
The smash punch would have been the smash punch.
Yeah, absolutely. He would have.
Right.
No, there's no doubt in my mind, because the money, like the money, the money was a determining factor, but also was I really want to go in there and hurt you. Like Anthony Joshua might be the perfect heavyweight to have done this, because he's going into the fight as a gentleman. Like, you know what? I know I can beat you. You know what? I'm going to do enough to beat you.
Well, that's the whole part of a British fighter. You know, it's Marcus of Queensberry. You know, they're here with it. They're not really trying to take anything off.
He didn't go in there. He went in intentions to showboat, make himself look good, to make Jake Paul look bad. But he didn't go in with intentions on killing him. There's a difference, right? Like you're naming like Tommy Hearns, right? Tommy Hearns in his prime versus Jake Paul. Tommy Hearns is going in there with intentions on killing you. You're like, he doesn't want you to get up. You know what?
Well, I think Tommy, but what my point with this is Tommy is going to get you out. Tommy's
he's looking to end you.
He's ending it.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about hurting you. Tommy wasn't about hurting you. Tommy was about ending it. We're talking about guys that will want to hurt you. And you just started with
Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe wants to hurt you too, but you know, Riddick was a plotter. He's not really. You punch harder. Riddick punches harder. What I'm talking about is like Mercer, like Ray
James Toney in his prime.
I'm looking at Ray Mercer.
Ray Mercer. Yeah.
Oh.
In his prime, absolutely.
Oh. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about merciless Ray Mercer.
He would have.
Tim Witherspoon
would have been destroyed. He's not going. He's not going in there to just basically just to grab the bag and go. Like, he's going in there to try to put you down.
No,
and then you want to talk trash?
Yeah, but then if you went on one knee, which one of these guys you just on one knee and the referee hasn't stepped in is going to give you like 2-3 more shots?
Oh, there's a couple. Ray Mercer, absolutely.
Ray Mercer, absolutely.
Might as well just put you down all the way.
All the way.
Put you down. Who's the middleweight? I can't think of his name. Oh, God, man.
Marvelous?
Light skin, tall. No, he was after. He came after. Light skin, tall. I can't think of his name. He was a
McCallum?
bad man. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Gerald McCallum. Oh,
Gerald would have. Gerald was going there with bad intentions. Gerald would have
bad intentions.
That's why I'm like, I mean, it's like fighting Floyd Mayweather, right? So you had two Floyd Mayweathers. You had Pretty Boy Floyd, which a lot of this generation.
Actually, you had Machine Gun Floyd. You know.
Well, then
it became Pretty Boy.
So you had before he was Money Mayweather,
right?
The Floyd that was used to knocking people out,
right?
Like that Floyd, right? Floyd. The Floyd that was fighting for the bag.
Machine gun, the machine gun.
That guy. I'll just tell you that, you know what? a lot of people don't realize Floyd at one point in time was a knockout artist.
Knockout artist.
Until Floyd would knock you out.
The knuckle.
Yeah.
Until the knuckle.
Floyd would knock you out.
Right.
And he was a stone cold killer. He wanted to get you out of there. Then when Floyd started making the money, he would carry the fight. He just wanted to get his bag and leave. Like, he wasn't really out to really hurt you. But the old Floyd was actually out there to hurt you, but he was too small. I don't think that he would have put a beating. But Julian Hawk, Julian would have.
Wow, that's a name. He would have. The Hawk, Julian.
Yeah, he would have. He would have. Oh my God! These are guys that would purposely want to.
Oh my God!
You know what?
The Hawk. I forgot.
Would want to destroy you, man. Julian, like, these are guys that wanted to beat you.
Absolute
and I think
killer.
I think, and I honestly, if we're going to be real about it, I think the blessing was that he did fight. You know what? Anthony Joshua. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The original fight was supposed to be against Tank. And the thing about it is that there was a lot of back and forth banter between him and Tank. And Tank is one of those guys that wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I don't think that Tank really could separate the theatrics versus the Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? The Baltimore and Tank is saying, I'm going to knock you the F out. I'm going to prove a point to you now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that had he actually fought Tank, I think the amount of punishment his body would have taken would have been a lot worse, because I think Tank would have went to the body. Tank wouldn't have tried to end it with one shot. Tank would have systematically broke him down. And I think the internal bleeding and the internal bruising of that fight. Like, look, sometimes taking a knockout is actually better than actually going the distance with
Tank
the fighter.
Chopped him down, something awful.
I think Tank would have went in there, and I think Tank would have, honestly, like a young lion, I think Tank would have went in there. Tank would have punished, and because Joshua didn't really go to the body consistently. Like, Joshua knew he had the fight locked in.
The first round, Josh was like, "This guy can't."
He knew it. He knew it. He was like, "What am I doing?" You know what I'm saying? I think honestly, a fighter. I think if he'd have fought Deontay Wilder, I think Deontay Wilder would have absolutely tried to take his head off. I think so.
That would have been an interesting fight.
I think Deontay Wilder would have absolutely. I think that right hand. You know what? The right hand of God would have landed, and I think. But the problem is that, look. You can have the accumulation of punches.
DeAndre has no defense. So,
but at the end of the day,
and the chin of, that's
but Jake Paul's chin touching Deontay Wilder's right hand, on a full windup, because Jake Paul had absolutely no defense whatsoever. You know what? And going with the guy who's like Anthony Joshua was not throwing everything with bad intentions. Like, I want to make sure people understand that guy, Deontay Wilder, throws everything with bad intentions.
He has
like lethal there is no just a touch. You know what? Set it up. No, the jab is coming at you and there is no jab. What I mean, you know what? It's not a rangefinder. It's really, honestly, he wants to knock you out with the jab too. You know what? Like, every punch is meant to try to sit you down. Everything's coming at 100 miles an hour. I think he fights Jake Paul, and I think the reality of it is that he tries to just decapitate Jake Paul in the ring. Like, if there was a way to absolutely uppercut somebody and to get their body to live.
What about the white Muhammad Qawi fighting against Jake Paul?
No, the guy should have been banned from boxing a long damn time ago. Absolutely not. Like,
Ernie Shavers.
No, Ernie. I mean, he would have. Can you get, like, can a punch actually break your spine? I'm curious. Like, we would find out in that fight, because I think Shavers would hit him so hard he would probably try to break he'd punch him in the stomach to break his spine. Like, I think
Ernie Shavers, God rest his soul, the acorn.
So I truly believe. In my mind, I truly believe that this was the perfect heavyweight fighter big name fighter to fight, because I think that Anthony Joshua is a classy man, a gentleman.
Right.
I think he is a good steward of the sport.
I do.
You know what?
I really like Anthony
in
Joshua.
terms of the violent component, I don't think that he obviously he's a fighter, so there's an element of violence, but I think that he also understands that there's an element of showmanship, and I don't think that he goes in there necessarily as a mean, frustrated, I want to hurt you. It's like Terrence Crawford back in the day. When Terrence Crawford used to fight, I used to laugh because I would say the best thing you can do for Terrence Crawford when he was fighting as a no name, right? And this is I'm talking about like 5, 6, 7 years ago, Terrence Crawford, right? When he was just killing everybody.
He was just
When he was just nobody was going to Omaha. He used to have to travel everywhere. You know, and he was angry. He was frustrated. He had no hairline. His lineup was always messed up. You know, like, I mean, he looked like he just looked like
Bud. Leave Bud's hairline alone.
I'm just saying, like, but look, man. The funny thing is, I used to watch his early fights.
I love everything about Bud.
And I remember the first time.
Good dad.
Yeah, well, absolutely. He's a class act. But I remember Bud before the gunshot. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then I remember Bud after the gunshot, right? And you look at Bud, and Bud looked like every 9-to-5 guy that basically worked at the factory. That just, you know, you're like, yo, this dude looked like he just punched it, like he just did like a landscape job, and he just came in the ring, you know, and just looked angry. And Bud would get in the ring, and Bud would tell you like, yo, I don't want to end the fight early. Like I want to be working on this guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he went in with intentions on like effing you up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he went to win, but he wanted to F you up.
Bud
like there's a different mentality.
Bud wanted to put in work. He wanted to just put in work. Just call that. Bud wanted to put in work on you.
I just think that, you know, like I said, in terms of heavyweight guys, I think that this might have been the best bet for him, because he went in with a guy that was going to clearly beat him, but he's not a killer. He's not going in there specifically looking to end you, you know, and he's a big enough name that you can, you know, you still have some pizzazz next to it. But clearly there are other guys that I would say, no, I would not walk into the ring for $60 million, because I don't think that there's a guarantee that you're coming out alive.
No.
You know what? So, and there have been plenty of boxers to lose their lives in the ring. And you know what? So 60 million can't follow you to the afterlife.
Absolutely.
The other fight, Pop, I was not really a fight, but I got to tell you, part of me is laughing because Top G. You know, when is this generation going to learn? Like internet personalities, like guys that are in the internet, right, that talk it really, really tough.
Like Charles Barkley said, somewhere in your grandmother's basement in boxer shorts, calling yourself, you know, an athlete or an announcer. You know, you're eating peanut butter and jelly. You're not a journalist. You're just a guy living in the basement with an internet connection.
We don't have clips of the fight, but I got to be honest with you. You know what? The bravado can only get you so far. You know what I'm saying? Like bravado can't win. Like I've never seen you win a fight off of just bravado, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like your super masculinity is not going to carry the day. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you're not. I watched the dismantling of a guy that just had no business being in the ring, and I got to be honest with you, for the internet people out there,
just so our
Top G, like, right, Andrew Tate. You know what I'm saying? And you know, in this one, Pop, I feel bad for him. I really, honestly, I feel bad for the guy. Not for what you think, though. I feel bad because there's something about, you know what, getting beat and not knowing how you got beat that tells me that, you know what, that you might be suffering from brain damage. You know what I'm saying? Like the post-interview fight, the day after the fight, he gives an interview and he says, quite honestly, I don't know how I lost. You know what? I think if that happens, you should never fight again. Honestly, I feel bad.
You know, I don't feel bad. I don't. I really enough.
Well, he got a bag,
so
you know what? I mean, it is what it is.
Listen, enough with enough. I think this is my final commentary because I'm not going to talk about these guys ever again. I hope this is the end of it, and this is why I hope it's the end of it. I know. I really. I hope it's the end of it. I hope we've just seen enough, and the reason I hope we've seen enough is because you can't just come up with the next thing for Bitcoin or the next thing to make money or this or that or this or that or the next thing. It really always is going to come down to really working hard. And I think the proliferation of millionaires is going down simply because along with the people who, the minute you come up with an idea, will buy it from you so that you don't advance it to the next level to become super wealthy or super rich. That's number one. But also, we've run out of ideas, and we have to go back to the original idea, which is, I'm going to work hard. So we take an Anthony Joshua, and we take a Bud Crawford, and we take a Tommy Hearns and an Ernie Shavers, and we lump them all together. And some were champions, but all of them had one road that they got to be the legends that they were. Okay. They worked hard at their craft. Right. Hard. Like really hard yeah. At their craft.
Yeah.
Is that hot at their craft?
Absolutely.
No question about it. Take no shorts, no vacation days, taking the lumps and the bruises, and they're coming back at this thing even harder.
Correct.
But then you've got a guy who's watching this, which is, my heart still goes out, God rest his soul, to my favorite boxer, Marvin Hagler. Because all those years with the Petrocelli brothers, marching up and down and running those streets in Brockton, the training camps in a building by yourself.
Yeah.
Still old school with it. My wife, my kids, I'm leaving them. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not doing anything. There's just this. And even Mike Ladies, I'm just going in the ring to beat you down.
Yeah.
I'm training like a madman.
Angry.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to this age of, I have a computer and it's going to Superman every punch you make. Right hand 3, forehand, left hand 4, uppercut, And then I'm going to go in the backyard, put the tape on, and I'm going to do everything you're doing. And then I'm going to get really pretty. And then I'm going to be seductive with my listeners. And I'm going to do this to seduce people into thinking that I've done something that you've done. I haven't worked hard.
No.
Right. But I'm going to go in there with the advance that who needs hard work? And I think Jake Paul and a lot of these guys like Talk G, they've done this thing. They've made the leap between, look, I don't have to work hard. And I hopefully saying to those people who don't believe that you have to work hard for something, you're going to get your ass whooped.
Belt to ass.
Belt to ass.
Belt to ass.
And I know we have young people listen to us, but I want to say this. You're going to get your ass whooped.
Belt to ass.
You're going to walk into someone who worked hard.
And they're going
those training days where I don't want to do this. The sparring partners who are better than you. The beat down the licks to no money. The lint pockets. Promoters, the whole 9 yards. Angry. And you're going to have to still work hard. And you're going to run into this guy. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to put a lick on your ass.
So is an 8-figure payday worth it?
Never. It's not. Because I think everything, and what I said with this is that you did nothing to get the money. And you know this as, you're a smart guy. You're the one I come to talk about money. But if you didn't work to get it, you equally work as fast to
lose it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I do understand that players Like, oh, basketball players going broke and this and that. But what these guys do have in common is they knew how hard they had to get it. And there's always a switch that can be turned on if it's not too late to rework hard at gaining it again. But if you never worked hard to get it and you got it, you can lose it equally as fast. Oh, Floyd
I would say if you didn't work hard in that avenue to get it.
Okay,
right?
yes, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Floyd Mayweather is going broke. No, he's not.
No, it's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. And to be completely transparent, like Floyd at 45 or 46 years old, in my opinion, is still light years ahead of, I would say, the majority of and he's still in shape. You know what? I yeah. You know what?
Would you listen? You know, but if someone's like, would you want to get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather?
No. Well, I mean, you would survive.
But I don't want to do it. But if someone said, "Well, just hey, John, you're going to get in the ring with Jake Paul," are you saying?
Yeah, I'd take that fight. I'll take that fight.
All right, okay. I need a coach. I need some time to work it up. Give me the basics. And the reason you're saying that is because you're not a boxer, right? But you're not a boxer.
Absolutely.
Right. And you're going against someone who's equally to you. Maybe they've been boxing and had a little more training, but equally to you, they're not a boxer either. So you still got, right. The worst that could happen is you prove that you're not a boxer.
Correct.
That's not a bad thing, though.
That's not a bad thing. And with the payday. With the payday. The payday.
But you don't want to fight a guy who is a boxer. Hey, I don't want to fight a guy who's a boxer.
No, I don't.
Like, no, I want to fight, like Muhammad Ali fought someone who's a kickboxer. Emphasis on Muhammad Ali not being a kickboxer. So he's not going on the ground. So this guy just went to the ground and was kicking him. That's it. But Ali was like, yo, I'm not going on the ground. I'm not a kickboxer. I'm a boxer.
Yeah.
So as bad as it looked, he still didn't lose anything because he never succumbed to what he wasn't. And the guy who's a kickboxer was never going to be a boxer.
Correct. He's not standing up.
Not standing up. Listen, the guy from Ireland, what's his name? Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, yeah.
Conor McGregor. MMA? Yeah, MMA, legit for a while. Legit. Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
You know, the
Hall of Fame guy.
Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Hall of Fame guy.
Boxer?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Anyway, and against anyone other than Floyd?
He would have got destroyed. He would have got destroyed. Got destroyed. That's why I said, like, he chose the perfect dance partner in Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua was not going to go in
Conor
there.
Conor McGregor against either one of the Cholo brothers.
Charlo brothers?
The Charlo brothers. Any one of them.
Absolutely not. And they're fine. Like, number one, they're going in for the payday, but they're going to make a statement as well. Like, you know what?
They're looking to make a statement.
Like, they're young, hungry lions, right? I mean,
young, hungry lion.
Bud versus Conor McGregor back then. I would have urged, if I was in Conor McGregor's corner, I would have
don't do that.
Probably said, like, hey man, you know what? There's not all money is good money. You know,
not all money is good money. You may not come back.
You may not ever be the same after this fight.
Nah, you may not come back at all from this whooping.
So I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I got to be honest, Pop. It was entertainment at its best. You know, I don't mean to laugh at somebody else's misery, but
I don't either. But I like I said,
but
my commentary is I hope this puts an end to that. I can do that. You know, there's things like, you know what? I can balance on one wheel and juggle and this and that. Or I can do a backflip. Or, you know what? I can race Usain Bolt. I know I can't, but it's a non-contact.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It sounds good.
And if you are neck to neck with him at 30 yards, I'll be honest with you, you won.
It's a moral victory.
It's more victory.
Moral victory. Yeah, you'll take it.
But I'm not fighting Mike Tyson.
No. Not in his prime. No.
No, ever.
Not even now.
Not even now.
No.
What moral victory can there be of fighting with someone who is a legitimate threat to your health?
No, I'm not. I'm not taking the opportunity. I'm not.
And for all you kids out there, look at the pictures of Jake Paul laying on the curtain. Look,
he might have. You know what it reminds me of, Pop? You remember that episode of Martin when Martin fought Tommy Hearns, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Tommy Hearns just destroyed him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just when Hitman just his face was just, it was just wild. Like, or no matter of fact,
yeah, like that, yeah.
No, matter of fact, remember in what's that movie with Will Smith, like Hitch, where he eats the seafood?
Oh,
he's allergic to shellfish,
right?
And his face, like, I was looking at the pictures and I was saying to myself, "Damn, man, my man should never eat shrimp again." Like, you know what? Grab the Benadryl, whatever, because his face, honestly, Pop, honestly, I was like, "Yo, this is bad."
This is
you know what I'm saying?
But
this
again,
is bad.
I hope in my heart of hearts that we have put an end to. I think I can beat that guy, and I think it all started really with Sugar Ray Leonard taking a year off and getting in the ring and winning that fight against Marvin Hagler, and that set a precedent to God. Although Sugar Ray Leonard legit is Sugar Ray Leonard.
I don't think so, Pop. I think that this this generation, right, the younger generation, is enamored with not necessarily the work that it gets to get something, but just the optics of an event, right? Because the sport of boxing, like the payday, the fight purse for this fight was a lot larger than some fighters would ever make in any other fight, given that.
Yeah,
right.
Bud's first 20 fights. Come on.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. So the thing here is that when it comes to the dollar, like if the dollar is a determining factor with this generation, name notoriety, name recognition, you know what is everything. And you have to understand, if I have a following of 30 million people, right, subscribers, right, then ultimately I'm a commodity at that person, because the assumption is that even if 50% of my base is willing to pay to watch me fight, you know what? Right. That's 15 million impressions or views that I'll get, that you'll get as a promoter. That's marketability right there. So, sadly, you know what? And I mean, I once again, I'll say it again. Not all money is good money. You know what? Given the opportunity to basically take a major payday and jump in the ring with a former heavyweight champ of the world, an Olympic gold medal in his venue, in his sport, and one that can
and by the way, also I think there's one more thing to be added in that.
What's that?
Still young,
yeah, and the consequences of my actions could potentially put me in a situation in a vegetative state, right? Right? Okay, I mean, that's the reality, right? Like, you don't think about it, but you're like, yo, I'll take the 60 million, but you know, when you really, really boil it down to you, what you're saying is that, are you willing to jump out of a plane and run the risk of 50-50 shot of having a parachute? You know what? I'm not willing to take that risk. You know what I'm saying?
Or like, right, the danger of it all. The danger,
like, the thing, it's the same. It's a coin flip,
right?
You know, Anthony Joshua lands the right punch. You know what? And you hit Anthony Joshua, and you make him pissed off.
I don't think Jake Paul is going to be right after this fight. I think.
I mean,
like I said, I hope it stops now, because if it doesn't, it's not just Palookaville, but it's a sad commentary on what you'll do to get money. And I don't know what's the difference.
That's the biggest story.
Right, that's the biggest story. What will you do to get money? The biggest story is, what won't you do to get money nowadays? What won't you do? We know the vices. God knows we know all the vices. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing that. I can't believe she's doing that. I can't believe they're doing that. We know the vices that people succumb to, regardless of the day and age, but the idea of what I'll do to get money. And we know the criminal aspect of what I'll do to get money.
Yeah.
But the fact, when it comes down to, like, this might be in support of this, in support of insanity. This might be right. Like we're supporting insanity. Like this is insane. Yeah, like hey, you know what? I would just love to see someone with, you know, who just came out of a coma fight Mike Tyson. And you're like, yeah, that'd be a great fight because Mike is not the same guy, but the guy he's fighting just came out of a coma. And there's people going, you know what? I wonder what happened if someone who was in a coma came out of a coma to fight Mike Tyson. What would that be like? To support that and to buy that is in support of insanity. And we have to stop this insanity. So, it's insanity.
Fun fact, your grandson, right, who doesn't watch sports,
he does
typically, right?
No,
sat and watched the fight, and this coming from the mind of someone who doesn't watch sports, his initial reaction.
Yeah, but his mind is like 150 IQ, and that's not like exactly my mind.
It's pretty close, right? But he was watching the fight, and he's sitting next to me, and in his mind, he was saying, "Why are they letting this happen? Like this is
why they're letting this happen." Right?
He's like, "I hate Jake Paul, but like I feel bad for him. Like he's getting he's getting beat."
The tar beat out of him.
It was funny at first, but I really feel bad for this guy.
It's not funny. This is my point. It's not funny.
And yeah, I mean, but Pop, the reality is as long as there's $1 to be made, right?
That's right.
As long as there's money and there's a certain level of profitability. And we all know that there's two forms of profitability here. There's currency with cash, right? And there's also clout. Clout is also a form of currency at this point in time. As long as those two objects work tandem with each other, you're going to benefit from either one of them. You know what? There's always going to be somebody willing and stupid to basically take Sigmund and Sigmund's place inside the tiger's cage. There's always going to be somebody willing to stick their head in the lion's mouth. There's always going to be somebody willing to do something absolutely absurd to either get the clout or the money at this point in time. And
so you're saying we're always going to be looking at
always in this you know what it wouldn't surprise
with the Tigers with the Tigers, those guys
in Las Vegas. What's that Sigmund
Sigmund Roy.
Yeah you're always going to get somebody
who says I have a pet tiger, a 700 pet tiger, and he won't bite me.
You're always going to get somebody who's willing to basically flirt with a thing that it and cause them a disaster. And unfortunately, you know what? I don't think that this is actually the end for Jake Paul. I don't, whether or not it is something that you can actually watch physically after seeing this, because you're at this point in time, you're watching not because you're rooting for him to win, but you're looking to see him make a spectacle of himself, to see, in fact, if it is a public execution. And in terms of the other gentleman, Top G fighting, I got to be honest with you. You know what? It's not.
That was brutal, by the way. That was brutal.
It was very brutal. Your online persona is a lot different than your real world attributes, right?
He really took a beating, by the way.
Yeah, he did. And I think what I'm going to do is, whenever they have these spectacles, no, that's a lie. The next spectacle that they have, Pop, if it's somebody who I can't stand, yeah, I'm absolutely going to be glued, especially if it's on Netflix, because I already have the subscription. So, as long as I don't have to pay the $89.99 on pay-per-view, we're good to go. So,
all right. Well, with that, I just wanted to thank all our subscribers and our listeners for listening to the show. And on that note, what you said, I would encourage everyone to take a look at the X-rays for Jake Paul and ask yourself this question.
WWJD, what would Jake do?
Is this really what you want to do to make money? Take a look at those X-rays, and that's it. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you so much.
Christmas.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We will have our Friday broadcast. We will be talking about our prognostications for the weekend. Clearly, my son has already made his prognostication regarding the 49ers. We disagree.
Sure did.
On that. but he stepped onto that one, and that's a landmine. That's a landmine. I don't think he really knows what he's doing. I'm sticking with the Bears on this. I'm sticking with the Bears. So thank you again. Subscribe and listen to our YouTube channel at Sports Talk with John and John at YouTube.com. Email us at sportstalkwithjohnandjohn@gmail.com. And for all you people who are unafraid to use a phone for what it actually was created for, 504-434-2509. Peace.